women are very active in trade. That's why you're all here. And the research we've done at the World Trade Organization shows that women who export earn almost 3 times more than those who sell domestically. That is research that is done from all over the world. So being in trade, being able to export really materially increases your well-being, your living standards, your income, and you can help your family and the nation more. And that is why we came today to launch a series of programs that we hope will be beneficial to the country, including our women.
Greatly delighted to welcome you all to this event, the WTO ITC interactive section with the She Trade Nigerian Hub and other key stakeholders as part of a sideline activity to mark the launch of WTO ITC Standard and Trade Development Facility for Sesame and Cowpea by the Director General of WTO, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. I sincerely wish to use this medium to specially express my appreciation to Her Excellency for keeping to her promise. When she visited the Council in 2021, pledging to support the Council in its quest to mainstream the participation of women-led businesses in global trade and therefore ensure gender inclusiveness and poverty alleviation. Today, that promise is now a reality with the launch of WTO ITC STDF Project 2024.
Women are very active in trade. That's why you're all here. And the research we've done at the World Trade Organization shows that women who export earn almost 3 times more than those who sell domestically. That is research that is done from all over the world. So being in trade, being able to export really materially increases your well-being, your living standards, your income, and you can help your family and the nation more. And that is why
Hello. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Hello, good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start now. Please let's call the room to order as we begin in the next few minutes. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, His Excellency the Ambassador, Embassy of the United Arab Emirates in Nigeria, the Acting Director of Marketing and Business Growth, Dubai Airport Free Zone, representatives of the Nigerian Customs Service, and the representative of Dubai Chamber International, all the directors of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council here present. A warm welcome to the Re-Energized Webinar Series 7.0. It is my pleasure to welcome you this morning to yet another edition in the webinar series of the Re-Energized project. This kicked off in March 21st, 2024, and we have had 6 editions running through up until now. The first edition, we introduced you to Nigerian Export Promotion Council. We went on to the second edition, where we educated you on documentation and processes involved in export. Then we touched on export market access, leveraging on key trade corridors for the third series. At the fourth series, we looked at the imperatives of logistics to a successful export, and we gave you a practical perspective to this. And then we moved on to 5.0 in May 2025, where we looked at e-commerce as a catalyst for trade facilitation. Then for 5.0, which held, for 6.0, which held in August of this year, we paid attention to strategic alignment of SMEs for after benefits. And today, we have come again to take you on 7.0 series. And for the 7.0 series today, we're looking at a very key topic. And the theme for today is paving the way for Nigerian companies in the UAE. And I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for making our time to join this very important conversation. Just to set a tone, as we all know, the United Arab Emirates has become one of the world's most dynamic trade and logistic hub. And on this end, Nigeria also stands as a powerhouse in Africa, offering rich products, rich services, and entrepreneurial drive. And so we're seated here to gain information on how to take this ambition of being able to export to the UAE to actually exporting and applying this. We'll be unlocking the full potential of Nigerian exports to the UAE, and of course we'll be looking at requirements, standards, logistics, regulations, and how to position the Nigerian products competitively on the global stage. Today we have a lineup of speakers. We'll have the keynote address from His Excellency the Ambassador, the Embassy of the UAE in Nigeria. We'll have goodwill messages from the Dubai Airport Free Zone, which is one of the core issues we'll be looking at today. We also have goodwill messages from the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. And then we will have the presentations coming in from Dubai to us. So I would like to ask you at this point to kindly stay tight, take away all distractions, grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, whatever will keep you warm and concentrating, because you do not want to miss any of the information you'll be getting today. Thank you once again for joining us. To begin the official functions of this webinar, please, I would like you to join me and welcome the EDCO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, as she gives us a welcome remark. Please, let's appreciate her as she takes the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. Well, people seated here, and also our friends and partners online. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Nora Abarime, ably represented here. The UAE Ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Salem Said Al Shamsi. Thank you for making our time to be here. Thank you. I bet you're online, I believe. Representative of the Comptroller General, Nigerian Customs Services, Assistant Comptroller General Isiako. Thank you for being here. Always supportive of us. Thank you. Representatives of DG of NAFDAC, SON, NIDA, and other agencies here present, either signed on online or here. Chief Advisor to the DG Dubai Airport Free Zone, Mr. Abdul Rahim Ghulam Nabi, thank you for joining us. Acting Director, Marketing and Business Growth, Dubai Airport Free Zone, Mrs. Fatma Yusuf Taha, thank you once again for coming. Nigerian Dubai Chamber International, Mrs. Irene Oyerekwa, NEPC Directors and Management and Staff of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, stakeholders in the non-oil export sector, distinguished Nigerian entrepreneurs and exporters, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. I'm delighted to welcome you to the 7th edition of NEPC Connect, our quarterly knowledge sharing platform designed to empower Nigerian exporters with practical insights, global market intelligence, and the tools needed to thrive in non-oil export sector. Every edition gets better, and today promises to be one of the most impactful yet. This morning, we are honored to be partnering with Dubai Airport Free Zone, DAFZ, and Dubai Chamber International, two globally respected institutions at the heart of commerce, logistics, and gateway trade in the Middle East. And we deeply appreciate your collaboration. Thank you for walking the journey with Nigerian Export Promotion Council and for opening new doors of opportunity for Nigerian businesses, particularly the exporters. The theme of today's session, Paving the Way for Nigerian Exporters in the UAE market, is timely. You must agree with me, the UAE remains one of the world's most dynamic trading hubs, a market of high standards, strong logistic links, and immense purchasing power. Nigeria has the product, the people, the creativity, and entrepreneurial energy to play actively in the Gulf market and even beyond. Now is the time to understand the pathways, the requirements, and the market behavior so that our exporters can enter confidently and competitively in that space. As you are aware, the UAE is not just a destination market, it's a gateway to wider Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC region. For us, this market offers diversity, high purchasing power, and strategic access to neighboring economies. Today, Nigeria remains one of the Emirates' most strategic partners in West Africa, just as UAE continues to be one of the Nigerians' most important trading partners in the Gulf. In 2024, Nigerian export to United Arab Emirates stood at 27.6 million US dollars from PIA, that's the pre-inspection agents, while imports from UAE were estimated at about 1.56 billion US dollars. This significant gap highlights the trade imbalance that we must work together to address. And this webinar is one of the practical steps towards achieving that goal. Our collaboration with Dubai Export Free Zone and Dubai Chamber International is therefore a win-win partnership. It reflects a shared commitment to unlocking opportunities, strengthening value chains, and supporting businesses on both sides to grow. This session today has been carefully designed to provide clear insight, actionable guidance, and market intelligence that will help our exporters navigate the dynamics of the UAE market with confidence and build stronger market linkages and scale competitively across the GCC and beyond. To all our participants today, I want to encourage you, open your mind, take notes, ask questions, take advantage of every lesson and every insight that will be shared. This is your opportunity to position your business for regional and global expansion. Engage, learn, and take action. Nigerian Export Promotion Council is here to guide you at every step. And please remember that NEPC Connect webinar recording remains available on our official NEPC YouTube channel. Revisit them, rewatch, share with your friends, and apply knowledge at your own pace. We created NEPC Connect so that learning never stops. Once again, as I close, I welcome you to this 7th edition. Thank you for our partnership. Thank you, our partners from Dubai. And thank you, every of our supporters, our partners from everywhere. The customs, the various agencies, our parent ministry, and our Honorable Minister, Dr. Jumoko Duwale, we thank you for your passion, your drive, and for pushing us to do great things. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, our exporters that make us proud. And thank you, my directors. Every one of them is here. I appreciate you. The management team, we are very happy. Thank you. Now let us listen, let us learn, let us grow together. And I can't stop without thanking the organizers, Ayo, Dele, the team, Emmanuel, Yano, all of you. You've worked very, very hard to make this happen. We are few here, but I can tell you a lot of people are logged on in Dubai, in different UAE regions, and also in Nigeria. Thank you once again, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, EDCU, for that welcome remark. And like she has urged us, let's engage, let's learn, and let's take action. The things you will get to learn today would be very useful to your business. So moving ahead, we'll now take some goodwill messages and brief remarks from some of our key stakeholders in today's event. First on the line for a goodwill message, please let's welcome, joining us virtually, Assistant Comptroller General of Customs, Mr. N. Isiako, for some brief remarks.
Good morning, all. The Executive Secretary and EPC, the Permanent Secretary here represented, please allow me to stand on the protocol already established. I am here on the instruction of the Comptroller General, who is unavoidably absent, to represent him here. So I want to convey his deep appreciation for being invited to this kind of fora, which is an opportunity for him to express his wishes and his plans for improving trade in Nigeria, more especially export trade. The Nigerian Customs Service, through the Comptroller General, convey its warm greetings to the organizers and participants of this re-energized webinar, which is organized by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council and titled Paving the Way for Nigerian Companies in the United Arab Emirates. This platform reflects a growing commitment to strengthen Nigeria's presence in the global market and deepen export readiness and support our businesses as they seek new frontiers. The service welcomes every effort that will help Nigerian products to move more easily across borders. Our mandate as a service continues to focus on trade facilitation, risk-based controls, digital modernization, and total adherence to international standards. These reforms aim to principally support exporters through clearer procedures, predictable processes, and partnerships that reduce bottlenecks. Nigeria as a country has the capacity to become a leading supplier within the UAE market. With approved logistics, with improved logistics, stronger compliance culture, and the right institutional support, our exporters can compete with confidence. Nigerian Customs Service remains committed to working closely with NEPC, the business community, and other agencies of government to sustain an environment where legitimate thrives. We offer our best wishes for a productive engagement and look forward to practical outcomes that will eventually emerge from today's discussions. The ideas shared here will definitely help in shaping more responsive policies and reinforce the shared goal of expanding Nigeria's export footprint. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Isiako, representing the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service. And we trust your words to continue to collaborate with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council to facilitate trade and ensure adherence to export standards. Thank you for your time this morning. Next on our agenda. Okay, I just got a notification. We were supposed to have the permanent secretary, the representative of the permanent secretary, giving us a keynote address, but he will join us a little later due to exigencies of duty. So we will go on with the webinar. Whenever he joins us, we would give room for him to give us that keynote address. And so in the next 10 minutes, most of you probably are joining this platform for the first time, or you have been here before, or you have an idea of what NEPC has done or is up to, has been doing. But we'll take a few minutes, the next 10 minutes, to give you a little bit of an overview of the NEPC's activity, especially within the year and overall all that we have been doing. And so I will have about 4 directors speaking to this. They will talk for about 3 minutes each and give us the necessary information that we need to know. I have the Director, Policy and Strategy, the Director, Market Access Department, the Director, Product Development Department, and the Director, Trade Information Department. Ordinarily, the Director, Policy and Strategy should be speaking to us first, but he's also in a brief meeting, but will join us soon. So I will yield the microphone to the Director, Market Access Department, Mr. Akitunde Folorunso, to speak to us for the next 3 minutes, please.
Okay. Good morning, congratulations on your promotion. My colleagues, directors, are very important online personalities because we are being viewed from across the globe. Good morning, just like the ED will say. Okay, good morning, everybody, once again. Yeah, it's a pleasure to once again be on this platform to discuss briefly on what we'll be doing at the Market Access Department of the Council. For us at the department, it has been a year full of activities. And I want to thank the ADCU for all the management for approving all our projects, geared towards ensuring that we're able to link our exporters to niche export markets. The first thing we do actually at the beginning of the year is to aggregate our exporters and see how we can build their capacity in terms of export capacity development programs, and this is to determine their level of preparedness for the export market. We look at their supply chains, their procurement process. We look at their sourcing. We look at issues that has to do with certifications. If they have a requisite certification, either mandatory or non-mandatory, that will make them to be able to get premium, for their products. We also look at their production process too, in terms of the equipment to use, in terms of value addition, to definite supply source. We also look at their corporate structure, which is very, very important. Another activity we do is to position our SMEs to benefit from trade agreement and different preferential schemes. And when we talk about this one, we talk about the AFCFTA, which is very paramount, and we know that Africa trade laws among themselves, but with AFCFTA, there is hope and there's plan for that scope to be widened. We also have the DCTS, Developed Country Trading Scheme, United Kingdom, which give about 99% market access for Nigerian products into the UK market. We also have the REX system, that's by the European Union, that's the registered exporters. It's also a preferential trade platform for exporters to be able to connect and sell their markets to buyers in Europe. In Europe. We also have the GACC, General Admission of Chinese Customs. It's another eligibility criteria for product to access the Chinese market. We also have our own ECOWAS ETLS. We are always sensitizing our exporters to ensure that they benefit from the ECOWAS ETLS, especially as you that has to do with origin. Origin of products is very, very important to benefit from the ETLS. Even the AFCFTA is very, very important. Another area where we have really worked under in these last few months is under the Economic Trade and Investment Partnership with the UK. We work as a department under the Export Diversification Working Group, and we'll be able to look at the various challenges that are militating against Nigerian products being exported into the UK market. At the international front, a lot of programs, that the council has been involved in. We have earlier this year, we have the Makkah Halal Forum in partnership with the Office of the Vice President. Halal is one of those certifications that is required to penetrate the Middle East market. Middle East market. Talk of UAE. We are talking about UAE this morning. We're talking about UAE, talking about Saudi, and that is very, very, crucial. We're also at the in cosmetics too, where we also supported about 10 SMEs, to in cosmetics in France for them to gain, to interact with buyers, and a lot of these, and an MOU was signed during that particular program. We're also at a China African Economics Trade Expo in Yunnan province too. The council was there, and we went to some of our exporters. We're always using that platform, the trade fair and exhibition platform, to ensure that our exporters, or to prepare them for being able to secure deals, sign MOU, and we've been achieving a lot in that respect. We're also at the Global Digital Collaboration Conference in Geneva, Switzerland. The world is going digital now. E-commerce is very essential and critical to trade expansion. So in that respect, the council is also working in that direction. We're also in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, for trade trainers on e-commerce, still on digital, on digital economy. We're also in Johannesburg too, for this SME ministerial meeting. All these trade events is to ensure and prepare the grant for our SMEs to be able to link, work to the export market. And the big of all is the IETF 2025, where we took 75 exporters, and sincerely, it was a very resourceful and impactful mission, that the country was even awarded the best pavilion transactive business among the 55 African countries. Can you please clap for Nigeria? So we're also in Fidelity Trade Connect in Umna, Atlanta, and about 20 exporters were connected, to business deals in the UAE. We also used the opportunity to also preach our diaspora export program. We talk about diaspora export of non-oil products, the Kusi Beyond Border, and the other components. We are also at UNGA2, United Nations General Assembly, and we participate in a lot of side events aimed at promoting trade between Nigeria and the US government, not just US alone, and other participating countries. We're also in Shanghai, China, the CIA, Chinese Import and Investment Exhibition. It was another resourceful, impactful mission by the council. Presently, the Togo Trade Fair will be kickstarting as from the 28th of November, to end the 14th of December, and the management has approved for about 20 exporters to be part of that trade fair. So it's another, okay, that's a good one. So it's another avenue and opportunity for us to play within the ECOWAS and the AFCFTA market. AFCFTA market is being implemented, is becoming a reality, and at the council level, our export performance to Africa is growing by the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director, Market Access Department. A lot of information to take in there. So I'd like to urge you that, don't worry, right after now, you can go on our YouTube channel at the NEPC and go through this webinar series again so that you can take in all the information and make good use of them. Okay, so before the Director, Market Access spoke, I let us know that the Permanent Secretary was supposed to give us his keynote address and that he was engaged but would join us. It's now a pleasure to announce that we have the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in the room right now. He is a director in the office of the Permanent Secretary, and his name is Mr. Naziru Abbas. Please let's appreciate his presence here. Okay, so while we're giving the representative of the permanent secretary a little bit of time to settle in and put his thoughts together, I would like to, first of all, let me apologize. I got the name of that representative wrong. The person we have here is Mr. Akerodolu Toyin Johnson. Please let's give him a warm round of applause one more time. So I'll give him a few minutes to settle in. And while he's putting his thoughts together, let me yield the microphone to the Director of Policy and Strategy to talk to us a bit about the department's activities. Then we'll come back to the Permanent Secretary. Please let's make welcome Mr. Lal Shehu Dalhat. Thank you.
The ED, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, the representative of the Controller General of Customs, and then most importantly, our Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, represented by his able director from the ministry. All other protocol observed. Well, I will just briefly talk about some of the activities that the P&S department actually carried out within this particular period in order to achieve the mandate of the council. Basically, the P&S, the Ginger Sustainability Program that we're about to round up, a delegation was brought in from the Netherlands, comprising about 5 to about 6 major buyers from Europe. In fact, one of the biggest buyer of spices and other ingredients, food ingredients from Europe, that is Martin Bauer, representative, was brought here, and I think he's one of the biggest buyers of our hibiscus flower also, because they are also into tea. From Germany was part of the delegation that came, and some other companies, Net Spice, or some companies that have been in existence for over 100 years, that came in and interacted with our stakeholders in Kano, in Lagos, and even here in Abuja. And then they also had a roundtable of business B2B meetings with our exporters here at the conference room. And it's our belief, we are collating our report, and it's our belief that this interaction would have generated large orders from these buyers that came in, and that not only for ginger, but for also other commodities from Nigeria. And in regards to that too, we were collaborating, like I said, with the CBI. But in relation to that, we're also collaborating with COLID. It's also a development partner that partnered with CBI, and in order for us to see how we can be able to address the issue of the ginger blight that has actually drastically affected the ginger sector in Nigeria. And with that, a comprehensive report has actually been produced on the SOP for the production of ginger for the country. In fact, the report has it was presented at the workshop last week, and we've gotten the report, and we're going to actually digest it internally and also share it with our stakeholders, especially those in the agri sector and in the ginger sector particularly, so that at least we can be able to address issues relating not just to ginger itself, but to other products. Then related to that as well is that this collaboration also culminated in the, which we also did recently, about a month or so ago, the graduation of 7 of our staff that have been trained over the last 3-4 years as export support officers, that have been relating and will be relating with companies in order to address issues and challenges facing those companies, especially regarding product and market related activities. And basically the idea of that particular program and the ESOs, that's the export support officers, is to use that in the area of sustainability of the program that we just carried out with the CBI. We're going to use that as a pilot to also develop other sectors and products as well, using those staff of ours that had been trained to do that for other products and for other staff, so that at least we cascade it to other commodities. The department also do a flagship program actually of the council. Is we are working on the area of the cluster development program on sesame. It's a pilot, and also this also gives you the idea that the council actually, our activities are kind of interwoven. It's an activity initially that was carried out or initiated under the STDF program, which is under the product development department, but they were out there, visited Turkey, saw a problem that needed to be solved for the country, so that at least we can expand our market share of sesame that had been very strong in Turkey, and but due to some challenges, it dropped down drastically. So coming back here, the ED with the team, and the ED was magnanimous to say, okay, let's initiate this project in Kebbi State as a pilot to see how we can be able to produce that particular variety of sesame that is needed in Turkey and other countries, but particularly this one, the target is Turkey, to see that at least we produce that particular variety of sesame for export. And so far, we've worked with about, the target was 500, in fact 1,000 hectares was the initial target, but we scaled it down to about 500, and about 250 farmers were engaged, and the NEPC actually contributed in provision of inputs, working with the Federation of Agricultural Commodities of Nigeria and the Farmers Association over there in Kebbi, with our state coordinating office in Kebbi actually coordinating the activities at the grassroots level to ensure that we produce sesame for export. And to just round it up, we are now at the final stage of the harvest. In fact, the harvest has already started, and we're expecting a huge output. And part of it is also, we're also engaging through FACAN with off-takers that will actually off-take the sesame that is being produced from there to be exported to, using the ITC to actually get one of those buyers from, or two or three of those buyers that were met by the group, by the team that visited Turkey, for them to off-take, to buy those commodities. So once we are hoping with the success of this particular program, we're going to now, the council, I'm saying, will now look at other regions and other commodities that will now go into. In fact, already we're in discussion, and in discussions on top gear towards onions as another cluster that the NEPC is also looking at within that region. So those are one or two things that we're doing. And then finally, if I may just say this, you see, data is also very important in terms of what we give out. So the department is also looking at, all this while, we give information regarding our volume and value of exports, which is what is even recorded for us from the CDCU. Now we are now also looking at areas the department is now working on, is to see how we can also be reporting on jobs that are created by exporting companies year in and year out. Going forward, we are now from this year, by the end of this year, we're going to give a report to now give us comprehensively how many jobs were created by exporting companies within this particular period. We'll compare it with the previous year to see whether the job has been increased or decreased, and then find out what are the reasons for this increase or decrease. We're hoping definitely it's going to be increased. So this is also another area that the department is also working on, apart from other activities that is carried out by the department. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Director of Policy and Strategy. We hear a whole lot of the good work that is being done through that department in the council, and we hope for much more of the things he has highlighted that the department will work on. We'll still hear from the Director's Product Development Department and the Director Trade Information, but we'll take a pause from that overview so that we can listen to the keynote address of the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Nura Abba Rimi, who is ably represented by Mr. Akerodolu Toyin Johnson. Please let's welcome him with a warm round of applause for the keynote address of the Permanent Secretary.
The representative of Comptroller General Nigeria Customs Service, directors present here at the high table, participants, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here to represent my permanent secretary who is unavoidably absent. Let me apologize for coming to this event a bit late. The directive to come here was given to me not quite long, so I rushed down here to present his goodwill message. Thank you. It is my pleasure to deliver this goodwill message at the 7th edition of NEPC Connect webinar series, themed Paving the Way for Nigerian Companies in the UAE. I commend the Nigeria Export Promotion Council for sustaining this strategic platform, which aligns squarely with our national objective of expanding non-oil export and strengthening Nigeria's presence in key global markets. This edition, with its focus on the United Arab Emirates, could not be more timely. The UAE remains a critical gateway for accessing markets across Middle East and the Gulf Cooperation Council region. By equipping Nigerian exporters with valuable insights, market intelligence, and practical strategies, this webinar significantly enhances our exporters' preparedness to compete and thrive internationally. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is fully committed to supporting initiatives that promote market access, diversify the economy, and unlock new opportunities for Nigerian businesses. We recognize the vital role of exporters in driving growth, earning foreign exchange, and strengthening Nigeria's global trade footprint. I encourage all participants to take full advantage of the knowledge and credentials this forum offers. The insight gained today will not only strengthen your engagement with the UAE market, but also contribute to the broader national agenda of positioning Nigeria as a competitive player in international trade. On this note, I commend the NEPC, resource persons, partners, and participants for their dedication to advancing Nigeria's export agenda. I wish you a productive and impactful webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The voice we heard is that of Mr. Akerodolu Toyin Johnson, but he's representing the Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Nura Abba Rimi. Thank you for your time, sir. We truly appreciate. And so we'll go right back from where we stopped before we got back to the keynote address. We'll continue with the overview of NEPC's activity, and we have 2 more directors to speak to us. I would like to appeal and ask that the directors should please graciously, I know there's so much going on in the council and they want us to have all that information, but if we were able to put it together in 3 minutes so that we can go on to other presentations for the day. So next on the timeline is the Director, Product Development Department, and he'll be speaking to us about the activities of that department. Please let's make welcome Mr. Macpherson Ileben with a very warm round of applause, please. Thank you.
The ADCO, representative of the Controller General of Customs, representative of the Permanent Secretary, FMITI, distinguished participants, both in person and virtual. If we have to work within the time frame that we have, we may not be able to see everything here. So I will just have to make you have the kernel of the product development department. If you are a seller, you don't go to the market empty-handed, so you go to the market with products. So that's to let you know the pivotal nature of the department to the achievement of the mandate of the council. If you are in the raw commodity aspect of export business, we got you covered. If you are in the value addition aspect of export, we've got you covered. So the product development department, specifically, we provide technical assistance to MSMEs, SMEs, and exporters, and all actors in the non-oil export value chain. In the area of quality control, packaging, branding, labeling, and everything that will make your products to be acceptable in the international market. In the department also, we seek appropriate solutions. So, problems or issues that arise in the course of export operations. So we try to solve those problems. We also provide advisory services in the department, the aspect of product sourcing, how to do efficient product sourcing, and then product adaptation. The products that we enter a particular market may not be the same package type, size, weight that we enter another niche market. So now we are talking about a specific market, having access to the UAE market. The department can definitely guide you on how to access the market with your products. We also guide exporters to ensure that which of course is related to what I said earlier, the products that you are taking to the market, they meet the import country's requirements, so that we don't have the issues of export rejection at the international border. And in actually achieving all this, we carry out series of capacity building programs, sensitization, awareness creation, and all that, so that if you are a farmer at the lower part of the value chain, or you are at the processing aspect of the value chain, we try as much as possible or you're an aggregator. So we try as much as possible to expose you to GAP, good agricultural practices. If you're in the value chain, value addition aspect of it, we also build your capacity on GHP, good hygiene practices, GMP, good manufacturing practices. If you are aggregating, then we also train you and build your capacity on what we call GSP, good storage or good warehousing practices, so that your products can access market. We also provide technical specifications for the setting up of CFC. CFC stands for Common Facility Centers, where we have common users for facilities that they can provide for themselves. So we provide the technical specifications for setting it up. And also we provide guide on CED, that's talking about Cluster Export Development Program. There are some flagship activities that are really going on now in the department. The department is actually housing the secretariat of a joint project between the ITC, that's International Trade Center, and Nigerian Export Promotion Council, under the STDF 845 projects, as the standards and trade development facility. The director of P&S, made mention of that, how we came about the pilot project on sesame coming up taking place in Kebbi State. We also, in the department, also house the secretariat on the joint project between, of course, ITC is our very good partner. So we also have a joint activity with ITC on the aspect of EAT. EAT is the ECOWAS Agricultural Trade Program. And a lot is actually taking place at that aspect. So all this actually, work back to back, work hand in hand to ensure that at the end of the day we are able to have our products leaving the shores of Nigeria, getting to the international border, and receiving global acceptability. We are available at any time to come reach us, make your inquiries. We have capable hands that will attend to you. Like I said, I'm just given 3 minutes. There is so much to say, but I think I've been able to give you some understanding of what we do in the department. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Director of Product Development Department, Mr. Makfasini Logwen, for taking your time to highlight these activities. And so you might wonder why we're going on and saying a whole lot of these things to you. The whole idea or the whole essence of this overview is to open up your mind to the possibilities and the benefits of the products and services that we have in the Nigerian basket and how you can assess them. We've had trade missions with UK buyers and buyers from Germany coming to create business and generate orders with our exporters. So we're also opening up the mind to buyers in the United Arab Emirates to the products that they can get from Nigeria and the potentials that lies here. So take your time and pay attention to these details. It's not just for talk's sake. Let your minds open up to the possibilities of export and trade with the Nigerian market and the Nigerian entrepreneurs. So moving forward, we would go on to listen to the Trade Information Department, and the director is seated here. Please let's make welcome Mr. Ndubweze Okeke, Director of Trade Information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MC. The EDCEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Noya Yeni, the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, my colleagues, directors here present, representative of the Controller General of Customs, colleagues and the members of the press. Without much ado, I have just 3 minutes to briefly state what the TI, Trade Information Department of the Council, stands for and what we do in terms of our operational activities. And basically what we do is to collect and disseminate trade information and export data essential for promoting Nigerian export business. And of course, we oversee the registration of exporters and manage a comprehensive exporter database so that we're able to attend to them from time to time. Of course, under the e-registration portal, we also ensure that people register with the council, and when you have all the necessary documents as stipulated under the portal, of course, when you register and you make your payment, you get your export certificate that makes you to export formally. And that certificate is issued within 24, maximum of 48 hours. Having said that, we briefly want to state some of the activities and programs that have been undertaken so far from January up to this point. And specifically, I'll be speaking to just the Export Training Institute in terms of trade facilitation, and of course, under the Research and Statistics Unit of the department. We also speak to effort being made by the Council, especially under the flagship program of mainstreaming the informal exporters so that we can formalize their exports. In doing that, we also speak to one very, very important flagship program that was launched in August, talking about the Women Exporters in Digital Economy Fund, working with the WTO ITC, and that fund was launched in August, where the DG of WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, was here to personally see to that. And of course, the wife of the vice president, who represented the first lady, was also there to give the keynote address. So having said that, under the Export Training Institute, we have the Zero to Export, and of course we have Export Mentorship Program and the Export Clinic. And for the Zero to Export program, I can tell you that training has been organized in 10 states with over 1,000 beneficiaries. And from these, we cascade them down to the Export Mentorship Program, where they'll be further trained and their capacity built in terms of them acquiring the requisite skill in doing export business. It's a kind of practical training program where we handhold them. Then going to trade facilitation, we work with UNCFACT, and I recall that in June, July, the ED led a delegation to Geneva, and presently we're also in Senegal where a meeting is being held. The trade facilitation is being done to ensure that we help exporters to experience seamless way of doing business, and then try to also go paperless in terms of e-commerce and what have you. Having said that, we go straight to the research and statistics unit, and this is a very critical area because here we work with several stakeholders, and most importantly the pre-shipment inspection agents, which collate and collate critical data that's forwarded to us, where we also do our own analysis, and then we also give that information out to the public. And how we do that is that we work with the corporate communication, and we do a press briefing specifically tailored in announcing this export performance. So we have done that for 2024, which came up in January this year. We have done for the first quarter of 2025, and of course we did for the half-year report for 2025. And this effort to collect this data, we also work with the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, and as I speak with you, there are ongoing activities where we try to work with them to ensure that they help us also complement our effort. And in this regard, 6 border towns awareness have been created there in 4 states, and hopefully as fund permit, we'll also proceed further. So having said that, this is briefly what we have done for this year, and under the WED Fund, I can tell you that we had over 68,000 women who registered on that portal, and I think we have about 146 beneficiaries, and as time goes on, we'll brief you in terms of those who have been able to get these funds to promote their business. So far, this is what we do in TI. Because of time, I know that as the program goes on, this webinar we'll also discuss further on things that relate to the department. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director, Trade Information Department, Mr. Ndubweze Okeke. And of course, thank you to all our directors for opening up our minds to the activities of their departments and how they will benefit us, how we can participate in it. You will have room to get clarifications if you need more or more information on these activities of the departments that were just highlighted this afternoon. And so still to come, we would have a short presentation on the procedures and requirements for accessing the UAE market. And to create a balance, we will then talk about practical steps to exporting from Nigeria. Right after that, we will look at the question, why Dubai? Why are we talking about Dubai? Your gateway to the global business world. So we have these next 3 activities, and hopefully we should be able to knock them off in the next 30 minutes or thereabouts. So next in line now, we're going to be listening from the Dubai Airport Free Zone. I have Mr. Mohammed Ashirawi, and I'd like to apologize in advance just in case I did not pronounce your name quite well. Forgive me, sir, please. So would have taken us on the procedures and requirements. summarize this brilliant presentation and put the information on our website for you to go and study even further. And beyond this, Mr. Mohammed Ashura, I'd like to say that we'll be looking to reach out to you to advance on at least 2 or 3 of some of the issues that we are interested in as regards partnership with the Dubai Free Zone. And some of these issues that we'll reach out to you to speak about is trade fair, business to business, with the view of a business to business engagement, and a trade mission. It may be either bringing Nigerian exporters to Dubai, or you coming to engage with our exporters here in Nigeria. So we'll reach out to you and we'll look forward to further engagements. Thank you again for your presentation, and hoping to build a strong relationship with you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And so we're coming back home now. Like I said, we've heard the requirements for that end. Let's look to what we need as exporters here to be able to export from Nigeria. And so we'll be having the Deputy Director, Trade Information Department, speaking to us very briefly for the next 10 minutes on practical steps to exporting from Nigeria. He just walked past me, so please let's welcome him as he takes the microphone to speak to us. Thank you very much. Mr. Folabi Bello, you have the floor now, sir.
Thank you, Amma, the MC, EDCO, representative of the PAMSEC FMITI, Mr. Johnson, my good friend, my directors, my colleagues, our online partners. You're warmly welcome to this session. I don't want to take too much time because I know there might still be a few more persons who need to say a few things. I would just want to give you practical steps to exporting from Nigeria. It's 10 minutes. It will be practical. It will be we'll try and make it brief, but it will be very practical and direct. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, you've heard from the Dubai end. The Dubai Free Zone is an economic zone. It's within the UAE, an economic zone, but the UAE itself has its own import and export procedure that also speaks to documentation. The same for Nigeria and for every nation. Every country has its procedure that speaks to document that is required for import and for export. Without these procedures being compliant to, without those documents, there is no import, there is no export. Our key focus is on export. Without the procedures and the document, like we said, there is no export. So the correctness of your document and compliance with the procedures speaks to the success of your export venture. Let's go. Okay, so these are briefly the parties involved in an export business. Our esteemed exporters, your buyer, who is the importer, the carrier, whether by sea, by rail, by land, by air. An entity is moving your goods if it's tangible, unless it is intangible, your services, which you can transmit by any other medium. You have the customs, for which we have the representative here, who are going to give the final clearance for the goods. You have licensing office. What do we mean by licensing office? NEPC, for instance, is a licensing office. Without the NEPC, you cannot be an exporter from Nigeria. Without some other agencies, the Quarantine, NAFDAC, Federal Produce, and other agencies, they give specific license dedicated to specific class of product. You have the commercial banks, where your export proceed will go into. And there are other parties as well, logistics service providers, freight forwarders, and others. So these are basically the parties involved with the export business here in Nigeria. Next slide. Is it working? Okay, so before we delve into the steps to exporting from Nigeria, okay, you have to understand that the procedure and the documents are specific to the class or classes of products you are exporting. These are the classes of exportable products from Nigeria. Agricultural commodities. When you say commodities, these are agricultural produce that you have not added value. That is why they are commodities. Even solid mineral in raw form are also commodities. Your metallic ores, and others are also commodities. But once you add value, whether second level processing, third level processing, it could be secondary or tertiary, it's no longer a commodity, it becomes manufactured. When it's manufactured, it's either it's semi-manufactured or fully manufactured. Your services, which are your skill and your know-how, are also exportable. Art and craft, which are handworks, are exportable. So these classes of exportable products have different documents that speak to export of each of these classes of documents. And also the procedures are different. So you need to know the class of products you're exporting and comply with the procedure that speaks to the class of product. Before going further, this is very important for exporters. We've interacted with exporters at the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and most of the challenges they face is that irrespective of the class of product, whether manufactured, semi or fully, whether commodities, the basic challenge sometimes is identifying the product for export. You need to know the product you are exporting. You need to understand where to source, if you are sourcing commodity, if you are producing, you need to understand the process for manufacture. You need to understand the technical know-how, the technicalities of your product. You need to have sufficient knowledge. And also it's important, you want to do an export, it's not going to be one-off. You don't want to do one batch today, and tomorrow you cannot export subsequently. You need to know the minimum order quantity and sustainability, how you can continue after the first, not just you do a one-off and that's the end of it. You need to understand your product, the technical specification, and other quality requirements. These are extremely important. This slide speaks basically to export procedures in Nigeria. All you need to do, irrespective of the class of product you're exporting from Nigeria, particularly for tangibles, this slide speaks to it, except for services. So what you need to do, you need to plan. You cannot export without planning. You cannot just do it like a bull in a china shop, you know. You need to have a clear plan. I'm starting an export next season, I'm starting next year, I'm starting this year. This is the product I'm going to start with. Funny enough, most beginner exporters, when you meet them and ask them, what do you want to export? They tell you everything, anything. No, you can't export anything and everything. You need to stick to a particular product, understand the product, plan. Okay, I'm going to start in a month or two. Where do I source? What are the technical requirements? What are the packaging requirements? What are the labeling requirements? What are the logistics requirements? What are the procedures? What documents do I require? All those will be encapsulated when you are planning. Now, you need to source. Once you have identified your product, you need to source your product appropriately. After sourcing, then you need to know what are the requirements. Then there are times when the particular product, when you are moving in from where you source to like a warehouse, or like for agricultural commodities, for instance, you source at the farm gate, then you move it to another warehouse prior to shipment. Do I need to do insurance, like a goods in transit? If it's necessary, if it is not, you need to determine order. Then basically, you need to also now, okay, after that, then the next thing is you have your product, you know the technical specification is to get a buyer. Once you have a buyer, you negotiate the contract. After negotiating the contract, you and the buyer will determine what kind of shipping line or what kind of logistics service you need to. Are we moving it by sea, by air, or by rail? If it's by sea, they need to liaise with the shipping company through your forwarding agent so that a container will be booked for you. So after that, they need to prepare the documents. There are different classes of documents. There's what is referred to as pre-export document, post-export document, and there are also closing documents. As you go along, we see some of these documents. After you have the goods, you've sourced, you've warehoused them, you fill your document. What are some of these pre-export documents? You need to register with the NEPC. You need to go online and fill the NSP. What is the NSP? Non-oil export proceed form. If you are importing, you fill the form A. If you are exporting, you fill the NSP. If you are doing non-commercial invoice, you fill what they call the NCX. How do you fill the NSP? Before, it used to be manual. Then you get like 7 copies. But now, it's so seamless. Go to the Trade Monitoring System portal, TRMS. Just put in your Google, TRMS portal. It will take you to the Trade Monitoring System portal. You log in. How do you log in? With your TIN number. So that means for you to export, you must have a registered business. You must have the NEPC number. Once you put your TIN and the password, you log into the TRMS portal. You go to the exporter side. You see the ENSP, electronic copy. You fill it. What is the NSP? To basically capture the record of your export. Your buyer details, the goods, the quantity, the cost, the price, HS code. All those information, the port, the destination, the exit point from Nigeria. All those details are captured on the NSP, as well as the value of your export. Then you select the PIA. What are the PIAs? Pre-shipment inspection agent. They are appointed by the government to verify export, non-oil and oil export. But in this instance, we are talking of non-oil. You have 3 of them. You have Neroli, who covers southwest and south-south. Anglia, who covers the northwest and north-central. And you have the Gojopal, who covers the southeast and northeast. So on the TRMS portal, you feed the NSP, you put your NPC number, you upload your invoice as well. You contact the PIA in the region where you operate. If I'm in Abuja, basically that is in the north central area, I'll be dealing with Anglia. You call Anglia, that is the PIA, schedule inspection. When you schedule inspection is done where? Either in your warehouse or at the terminal. The terminal could be at the airport, close to the seaport, or at your warehouse. You schedule inspection, the PIA will come, physical inspection, to verify the details. Prior to that, you get what you call an RFI, request for information, from the PIA. You fill the RFI as well. They will come, they will verify the goods, they will verify the quantity, the quality, and also make sure the price is consistent with what you put in your commercial invoice, in your pro forma invoice, sorry. So if everything is satisfactory, the PIA will process your request for export, and within 2 days, issue what you call a CCI, Clean Certificate of Inspection, which shows that they are satisfied with what you are exporting in terms of quantity, quality, and the price. But in processing your NSP, you pay 5,000 naira to your bank. That is the processing fee for the NSP. Prior to issuance of the CCI by the PIA, you have to pay the next fee. The next fee is Nigerian Export Supervisory Scheme, Nigerian Export Supervisory Scheme, which is 0.5% of the FOB value of your shipment, of that shipment. If you are paying freight, NSP is not calculated on freight. It's based on the FOB value of your shipment. Sometimes people have contract for, let's assume you have contract for 100 tons of a particular commodity, and you are doing part shipment. Before now, you could fill an NSP for 1,000 tons and do part shipment. But now, you feel the NSP is for the lot you are shipping at that time. Not that, okay, I have a contract for 1,000 tons. I do NSP for 1,000. I will be doing part shipment. No. The NSP must be for the shipment at that period of time. So after you fill the NSP, you've liaised with your PIA, then an important area, very, very important, prior to stuffing the container, you need to liaise with your competent authority. Who are the competent authorities? The PIAs are appointed by government to ascertain your export in terms of the goods, quality, price. The competent authorities are the regulatory bodies in charge of particular classes of products. They will check the product and issue international certificate that will verify the health and safety of that product. I'll give you examples. In trade, there are conventions and regulations. You have, in the WTO, we have what they call the Codex Alimentarius, International Plant Protection Organization, and you also have what they call the Office of the Animal Protection Agency, OIE. So each of these are in charge of various classes of products, plant, animal, and human. So if you are doing agricultural commodities, you need to liaise with the Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service, who will check that your plant product is free of pest and disease. Once they are sure, once they do their inspection, they will issue you a phytosanitary. Most agricultural commodities, you also need to fumigate and grade. So who do you call? Federal Produce Inspection Service. Those are the competent authorities. If you are doing regulated product, food, you call on your NAFDAC, who will issue a sanitary. If NQS issue phytosanitary, the NAFDAC will issue a sanitary certificate. If you are doing animal and animal products that comes from animal, either live or byproduct of animal, you need to go to the Department of Veterinary and Pest. All those are part of the export procedure from Nigeria. So the class of product will determine the competent authority you liaise with. So you need to realize that apart from the PIAs, you're also dealing with the competent authorities. So after the competent authorities have checked, and okay, your product. You put in the container, move to point of exit. Now, the important thing is this. If you are shipping from Lagos area, after stuffing the container, there is a custom command in Lagos. It is the Lilipong command. It is dedicated to export. But the thing in Lagos is that if you are shipping from either Apapa or Tinkan, you must go through the e-call-up system because of the congestion in Lagos. So they came up with this system. It is called the ETO. It's to ensure that you are allocating time and day where you can access the port. The custom command will check based on the CCI and other documents. Once they are okay, they will issue you the SDD and seal the container. Then when it is time for you to access the port, if it's the Lagos port area, then through the e-call-up, you are scheduled and going. So that is just it shows the pathway to exporting from Nigeria, from export planning, sourcing the product, negotiating with your buyer, sourcing the, filling the NSP, doing inspection with your PIA, competent authority, custom, and the custom procedure, and all your documents, then prior to exporting to destination. We've spoken about the importance of documents in export. So export procedure also speaks to document. You must comply with documentary requirements for export from Nigeria. What are these documents? These are the pre-export documents that are required. Prior to exporting, you need to have an exporter certificate. You need to fill the ENSP. You need to have a pro forma invoice. Is just is temporary. It speaks to an estimate. Okay, this shipment is 100 tons, worth $1 million. But at post-export, when you are certain of the weight and the quantity and the price, then it becomes a commercial invoice. Then you also put the packing list that speaks to the specific number, if it's bags, of that product that you have for that shipment. You also need the competent authority certificate. We've mentioned some of them. Phyto from quarantine, sanitary from NAFDAC, common veterinary from Department of Veterinary and Livestock, also sanitary from Federal Department of Fisheries. You need certificate of fumigation from FPIS if it is a produce that requires fumigation. Certificate of weight and quality is so important. This can be done by a third-party agent for you. You need to be sure of the weight of what you are shipping. Quality, you need to be sure of some quality parameter, moisture, ash content, a lot of things. You and the buyer will agree on some of these things. You need to have certificate of origin. For the EU, they call it the REX. The director MAD had mentioned that. Other regions might have their specific requirement. For China, if you are going, you must have the GAC. For EU, you must fill out the REX. That is domiciled in the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. For some other region, the certificate of origin is just from NACIMA. Then it's also important you have your either bill of lading for sea, airway bill for air, and way bill for road export. These are the closing documents prior to you repatriating your export proceed. These documents are extremely important. The stamp and endorse NSP by the PIA and the customs. And the CCI endorsed by the PIA and customer as well. And your final invoice. You know, when you export, sometimes it's an estimate that, okay, maybe I have 100 tons. But sometimes at destination, there might be increase or shortage of weight, which will be reflected in your final invoice and also your bill lading. These documents are required to close your export. This also speaks to the documents you require for the class of products you are exporting. This is a lot of rejection as a result, sometimes not because of the quality of what you're exporting. It's because of no compliance to export procedures. Sometimes exporters do not take time to understand what is needed for the class of products they are exporting. It is important you understand the requirement both at origin and at destination. For agricultural commodities, there's what they call the border control points. What are border control points? When we travel as human, we come to immigration points where they check our documents. For our export, they go to the border control point where they check. First thing they look for are the documents that accompanies the export. Once the documents are okay, then they will check the product itself. So at the PCPs, these are the documents they will look for. If you are doing agricultural commodities, if it's agricultural commodities, they will look for your phytosanitary. Europe, they will ask for the REX. China, they will ask for the GAC. Then, There are some specific products that require additional quality certificate from a third party. We have so many examples of third party. They must be accredited, like your SGS, Bureau Veritas, Vena Control, so many of them. Could be an additional requirement, and also your certificate of origin. These are required at border control for agricultural commodities. For product of animal origin, I give examples then. Product of animal origin are products that originate from animal or byproduct of animal. They could be food or non-food. For instance, wool, hoof, they are product of animal origin because they are byproduct of animal. Like your honey, your fish, meat, those are products that originate from animal. So they are all classified as POAO, product of animal origin. These documents are important if you are going to export anything that relates to POAO. For agricultural commodity, you need the FITO. For product of animal origin, you need what they call the Common Veterinary Entry Document. You get that from Federal Department, from Ministry of Agri. There's a Department of Veterinary and Livestock and Pest Control, DVPCS, Department of Veterinary and Pest Control. They will check, once it is free of pest and disease, issue you a CVED. Some countries will require that, apart from the CVED, we also want you to get a phytosanitary. That means you are liaising with Department of Agri and NEQS. So depends on the requirements of the importing country. Some countries are also specific that if you are doing, for instance, if you are doing processed fish, which we call dry fish, where you are drying your fish in Europe, you must tell them that facility must be registered. And before you ship, you must pre-notify. It is there. You see facility registration where necessary. If you are processing, they want to know where you are processing from and when you are exporting. So you need to register your facility and pre-notify them prior to export. So that's some of the requirements for your classes of product. This is the last slide. This speaks generally to exporters. Some of the failures of our export venture are captured here. If we're able to address some of this, I assure you we'll have no zero rejection. We'll have no rejection in export. We will achieve zero reject. First problem with exporters is sometimes we don't know our product. You can think you're exporting sesame seed. What is the variety? What is the variety? People talk about export of yam. A lot of noise I made. But people don't know, in Nigeria we have 23 varieties of yam. Only 6 are exportable. Only 6. So if you try to export the variety that is not exportable, it becomes a problem. Only 6 are exportable because of durability and some other qualities. So you must know the banker will tell you, know your customer. For you, an exporter, you must know your product. You must ensure you comply and conform with procedure at origin and at destination. In Dubai, you see the link there. If you click it, it will take you to the requirement at the UAE for importing into the UAE. That is that link. We've shown you the export procedure from Nigeria. What are the requirements at the importing end? It's important you also understand the requirement, not only at origin, but also at destination. You must keep abreast of regulations are changing every time, particularly with Europe. They have this body in Europe. They call it DG Sante. It's a director general. It's in charge of food safety in Europe. They reviewed regulations. In fact, there's one. You can see the last one. 2025-13-0803. It speaks to common custom tariffs. What does it say? Some classes of products have zero tariff or reduced tariff in the EU. So if your product is going to benefit, so you need to keep abreast of changing regulation. There are regulations that speaks to contaminant, that speaks to microbial load, that speaks to, so maybe what you're exporting yesterday, the regulations have changed. You need to keep abreast of regulations. And most times, our exporter also failed because they tell you that, oh, I tested it here. When it got there, they said they failed. So there's this dispute. Most times, exporters take their samples or their product to facilities that are not accredited. You must use accredited facility. It must be accredited facility. And one mistake we make sometimes is that we take samples. You don't take sample. Let the expert come and take sample. There is even a scale for sampling. People who take sample are accredited. It is called ISO 17024. You must be accredited. You cannot just say, what is the sampling size? What is the sampling lot? You don't know. Does it represent the sample? Does it represent the entire lot? So use accredited facility. If you do not know accredited facility, that is NINAS, is the body in charge of accreditation in Nigeria. You will know the accredited facility you use, and it will also show you the scope of accreditation. Scope of accreditation means these are the parameters they can test for. One big problem exporters also have is calibration is a problem in Nigeria. Even though now we have in the ministry, I think you have a department that's addressing that. Most times in your export, there's disparity between weight at origin and weight at destination. Why? Because most of our equipment, sometimes the ones we use are not calibrated. I've seen where if you put a magnet in a scale, it can increase the reading by 5 kg. It can increase, so make sure what you use are calibrated equipment. Implement relevant certifications. The way the world is going now, if you don't have additional certifications, food safety management system, quality management, like the UAE, you must do halal, for instance. There are some products now, you must do sustainability certifications. What are organic, global gap? All those are very important. Then the last one, exporters, please, in export, there are 3 important inspections: sampling, shipment, and destination. Sampling inspection is before you even buy. You need to test what you are buying. Take an expert there, take sample, test. If it's okay, then you buy. The shipment is when you are about to ship, when you are putting it to the container, the expert will take sample. That is the result that will go to the buyer. Once that is done and the container is sealed, even if the result comes out bad, you cannot retrieve it anymore. That consignment is on its way. So the most important for you as exporter is the sampling inspection, then the shipment inspection, then the final one, destination inspection. You have no control over it. That is at the back. But if you do your sampling inspection very well, you are sure that your shipment inspection will be good and the consignment will arrive in good order. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Whew. A lot of information. And I must say it was quite concise, even though it was a lot. Devoid of ambiguity. It was quite straightforward and quite practical. So you would do good to pin this particular presentation and maybe save some of the staff of NEPC the bother of calling us every minute to say, I want to export. What do I do? I mean, you have it in this one presentation. So please go through it again. Like I said earlier, our page, our handle on YouTube is at the NEPC. From the 1.0 series of this webinar series to the 7.0, we have it on that page. Do yourself some good. Go and rewatch it. Rewatch it and rewatch it again and again. And so, next online, we're going to be answering the question, why Dubai? And once that question is answered clearly to us in the next 10 minutes of presentation, we'll have, you heard from about 4 of our directors earlier, but we also have other departments that what they do affects you, the exporters and business owners. So we'll give an opportunity to those directors to speak to us for just about a minute. And a minute should please be a minute. I beg my directors, sir, ahead of time. So after answering the question, why Dubai, we'll be listening to the director, State Offices Coordinating Department, Solid Minerals Department, and Export Development and Incentives Department. Now, to just make it clear the angles we want them to speak to us to in the 1 minute, the State Offices Coordinating Department will be speaking to us on how to leverage on the 36 offices that we have in the 36 states of the nation and how we can key into the one state, one product program to increase the quality, value, and volume of the products that we intend to export. Then from the Solid Minerals Department, that director will be speaking to us on the opportunities in that sector. And then the Export Development and Incentives Director, we're looking to listen to him to speak to us on the activities that they are doing with women and youth in exports. They'll be able to do this for us in 1 minute each after this next presentation. So now, to answer the question, why Dubai? Why is Dubai described as your gateway to global business world? Please let's welcome joining us virtually, Mrs. Irene Oyarekwa from Dubai Chamber International. Mrs. Irene, please, you have the floor. Thank you for joining us. Please let's appreciate her with a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Permit me to stand on existing protocol. Thank you. So today we will look at why Dubai stands out as a global hub for business, innovation, and investment. The business landscape in Dubai is very favorable. You can see GDP growth at 4% as at Q1 2025, 27 free zones plus mainland to establish your company, 200 Emirates and Fly Dubai destinations from Dubai, 250 flights every 24 hours through the Dubai airport. What are some of the top sectors contributing to the GDP growth as of 2025 Q1? Wholesale and retail at 23%, financial services at 13.4%, logistics at 13.1%, real estate at 7.5%. Several trade agreements have also been signed to boost bilateral trade. You have 27 comprehensive economic partnership agreements, CEPAs, to boost bilateral trades have been signed. 13 are currently active. Foreign direct investment is another reason why you should consider Dubai your home. As at Q1, first half 2025, Dubai attracted $11 billion FDI inflow. What are the top sectors hosting FDI as of 2025? You have business services at 31%, logistics at 7%, hotel and tourism at 21%, consumer product at 7%. If you look at the global ranking by FDI project as of 2025, Dubai is ranked number 1, followed by London, Singapore, and Riyadh. Tax policies in Dubai are very favorable. If you look at the taxes, 0% income tax in Dubai. Corporate tax is at 9%, VAT is at 5% in Dubai. Dubai continued to attract global talents globally. This contributes to people that call Dubai home. Looking at the security in Dubai, the safety in Dubai, good healthcare in Dubai, world-class infrastructure in Dubai. With the ranking here, Dubai is ranked number 3 globally for talent attractiveness. The retail and e-commerce sector continue to grow year in, year out. You look at the market share at 53.5%. You see this fashion, if you look at the category, fashion at $3.1 billion, appliances and electronics at $3 billion, food at $1.2 billion. The pharmaceutical industry in Dubai is very attractive. You can see patent drug leading, generic drug, and then the OTC medicine. What are some of the drivers of financial momentum in Dubai? You have healthcare-focused free zones such as Dubai Healthcare City, Jebel Ali Free Zone, Dubai Industrial City, and Dubai Science Park. You have liberalizing policies to attract foreign investment, presence of global pharma companies, and research centers in Dubai. Main import market for Dubai pharmaceuticals, you have the USA at 19%, Germany at 14%, Italy at 12%. Potential manufacturing opportunities in Dubai. You have opportunities in diabetics and hypertension medicines. You have the super generics. You have 3D implants and blood plasma. You have drug for the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular diseases. Dubai is among the cities, top-ranked cities in terms of quality of transport and logistics. What are the opportunities in Dubai logistics sectors? Mobility technologies, you have the drones, autonomous transportation, air traffic system in the new DWC airport. You have digital technologies, IoT, blockchain, supply chain solution, tracking and security. You have sustainability solutions as well, electric vehicles, EV charging station. Dubai Green Mobility Strategy, the plan is to have 42,000 EVs by 2030. If you look at the benchmarking here again, Dubai is ranked among the top cities in terms of quality of transport and logistics, industry competitiveness, infrastructure, and market access. 81.1% of total volume of trade is transported via sea. 53% of Dubai total trade value is transported via air as at 2023. Dubai is one of the most connected cities by air and by sea. The real estate sector is thriving in Dubai, owing to investors' confidence, robust demand, increase in high net worth investors. You can see Dubai outperforming many cities globally in rental yields as at 2024, 6 to 8% in Dubai. Dubai clean energy sector, it's another sector in Dubai as well. We have the target to go completely clean energy 100% as the 2020-50. That's the target. And then the focus for 2030 is 27%, and as at 2023, 16.1%. If you look at the 16.2% clean energy being generated, 11% of it is generated by solar. Several opportunities, potential investment opportunities in the clean energy sector. You have the green hydrogen, manufacturing of solar panels, wind energy, energy storage, solar energy, clean tech, waste energy, carbon capture technology as well. The ICT and innovation sector is another sector thriving in Dubai. You have the software publishers, which attracted the largest amount of greenfield FDI with 53% market share from 2018 to 2024, followed by computer programming at 36%, internet publishing at 6%. We look at the opportunities in Dubai ICT sectors: sovereign cloud and AI infrastructure, virtual and augmented reality, gaming industries, robotics and automation, 3D printing, digital marketing, and e-commerce. The AI and fintech sector, Dubai has growing AI and fintech sectors, providing funding to early stage startups. Majority of VC firms in Dubai are actively seeking AI and fintech-driven companies. So far, from 2018 to 2024, 424 VC deals in AI sector in Dubai. 2018 to 2024, in the fintech sector, 86 number of VC deals in Dubai. So some of our flagship programs that we have as Dubai Chambers, you have the Dubai Business Forum. 4 international editions have been organized: China, UK, and Germany, and then recently USA, showcasing the D33 agenda opportunities with 1,400 attendees. We have the Expand North Star, which is the largest tech startup in the world, with about 2,000 startups, 1,200 investors with $1.1 trillion asset under management, 40 unicorns with combined valuation of $900 billion. We have the Dubai Founders HQ, a flagship initiative under Dubai 33 Agenda, D33 Agenda, designed to empower startup and SME and position Dubai as the best city in the world for founders. This is Dubai International Chamber. The plan is to get to 50 offices in 2030. We're currently at 7 offices in Africa, including the Nigerian office. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Irene Oyarikwa, for that presentation. Quite insightful. Quite insightful. I hope, like we used to say when we were in debating and literary society in the secondary school, I hope she has been able to convince you with these few points of hers that Dubai is indeed your gateway to global business world. She has outlined the opportunities, she has outlined the sectors that you can take advantages in, and why you should consider Dubai, from the foreign direct investment to regulatory and business environment. She says their tax policy is favorable to Dubai being an attractive destination. So if you are looking to some of these sectors that she mentioned, pharmaceuticals, AI, fintech, and the rest of them, you have your answers. This is why you should look in the direction of Dubai. Thank you so much. I hope you will still be available to answer some questions if we have any coming from here to your end. So talking about questions, please drop your questions in the chat box right now. If you have any questions to ask, we will collate them and take as much as we can in due time. Okay, so let's now hear from our directors. A minute each, even though that sounds really short, but I'm sure they'll be able to give you a little bit of information on what their offices handle. First on my list is the State Offices Coordinating Department Director. Let's make welcome Mr. Arnold Jackson as he speaks to us for the next 1 minute. Please, let's appreciate him. Thank you.
Thank you, MC. Good afternoon, E.T., the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Customs, my colleagues, directors. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The whole place was so cold, and I just want to catch your attention. All right. So a lot have been said about what the activities and what we do and all that, and the importance of non-oil exports to the Nigerian economy. But there's something that I need to say, that all these activities takes place in a location or locations. And that's why the State Offices Coordinating Department handles those locations. The council is divided into, I mean, they have about 6 regional offices, and we have 36 state offices plus FCT. That's huge. So all these locations handles activities. And each of these locations are also working with the state Ministry of Commerce, and they also have committees in each of these states, each of these locations, called State Committees on Export Promotion. This is to further drive the non-oil activities to the local level. And we are also looking at what we call one state, one product in each of these states. This product, Nigeria, as a matter of fact, is blessed. God has blessed us so much, but we can't just carry everything at the same time. So each state, has one thing they have a comparative advantage over the others. So we now delineated this and asked them to concentrate on those core competencies where they have comparative advantage. And we look at those things, those products that have good export potentials at international market. That's why we now delineated them into such this thing. This state has this, okay, come up with your best. So we do that, and we promote such. That's why we're able to talk about increasing the volume of export and so on. So these are the things that we do, and we don't just do, because the last presenter talked about quality assurances. So we also look at how can we best, maintain the quality of a product that is coming out from those states. So we look at through clusters, we look at through cooperatives, we also look at common facility centers. This is to ensure that we have good quality product and also to ensure traceability. And when this is done, we are hoping to, recently there's a good trajectory that the non-oil export has been growing up, from what it used to be. This is one of the reasons why we can also say this, because the sourcing of this product comes from each of these locations. And these are some of the things that the state coordinating offices is doing. And the ED has been so magnanimous to support this initiative. And that's why I wish I had a little bit of time, but I'm not going to do that much. But just know that we have the state offices, 36 states of this federation. We have all the offices in those states, And we are working through clusters and cooperatives and the state coordinating departments, the state Committee on Export Promotion in each of those states are working in partnership with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council and with other state relevant agencies of the federal government. So this has given us a leeway and also a leverage, and that has also helped. The mantra is to double the export. So we must double export, and in doubling this export, these are some of the procedures. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arnold Jaskin, for the insight into what the State Offices Coordinating Department does. So if you're joining us from anywhere in Nigeria, please do well to locate the Nigerian Export Promotion Council office that is closest to you, and let the staff there guide you through on your export journey. We move on now to Solid Minerals Department, and the director, Mr. Samson Idowu, will be opening up our minds to the opportunities in solid minerals sector for 1 minute. Thank you, sir. Please let's welcome Mr. Samson Idowu.
Thank you very much, the CEO, representative of PS Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, directors, the representative of Nigeria Custom, colleagues, and our online participants. Thank you for the opportunity. It's interesting to be here, and why I'm happy is that the emphasis so far is on UAE, and the last speaker particularly underlined a particular factor that the 22% of trading activity in UAE come from the solid minerals sector, and I hope most of us that are listening were able to ask in our mind what are those solid mineral opportunity that we can key in and not only double our export but move it to higher pedigree. So part of those solid mineral opportunity that can be exported to UAE is gold. We know gold, jewelries, all the gemstones, aquamarine, ruby, and the like. So we need, and we are blessed with all these gemstones, precious stones, semi-precious stones nationwide. As we speak, the conference on gold and gold conference is going on in Lagos. Women, youths are being trained on how to be part of this business. What we are saying here is that UAE, Dubai is an opportunity for us. But for us to do it properly, we need to learn the rule. Part of what we need to learn is what has been said. The other speaker emphasized the free trade zones that are available. But there are about 40 of them, apart from Dubai airport free trade zone. Those zones avoid the opportunity of exporting duty-free to Dubai. But aside from that, if we want to operate outside the free trade zone, there are certain things we need to know. One is the fact that we need license or trader code, and those are obtainable from our customs of that organization. So we must have license. We must do it formally. You should not be able to be part of an informal activity. Another thing we need to have at the back of our mind is the fact that we have prohibition lists. There are certain things that should not be done, and emphasis is on alcohol, pig, and related items. Cigarettes, even attract 50% tax, and we have some plastic also attract 50% tax, so as to discourage trading in those areas. So what we are saying is that if you cannot find your way into free trade zone, which is desirable and advisable at this material time because of the free tax of opportunity in those axes, outside the free trade zone there are some rules that need to be done. There are some rules that we need to comply with. So let's take note of all these things. Before I go back to the MC, I also want to remind us that, like the last director spoke, a solid mineral can be part of one state, one product. It has been approved during the National Council on Trade and Investment. A step has been taken in that direction to ensure that all states that have opportunity in solid mineral can trade in and give a force to participants in those space, so that solid mineral can become one state, one product. As of now, it's only Ebonyi State that have alternative product in the solid mineral. And this means that we are just scratching the surface, we have not started. So this is a clear call to all of us to ensure that we recognize solid ground, we come around, join hands to play it and to make Nigeria better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samsonido, and I hope that those of us listening will answer to this clarion call. Next is the Export Development and Incentives Division. Even though it houses about 4 sections or divisions of the council, the director will be speaking to us specifically today about what the department is doing in the area of working with women and youth in export. Please let's make welcome Pastor John Okori, Director, Export Development and Incentives Department. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Edie. Let me stand on the existing protocol. I want to say that Export Development and Incentive Division Department is a very critical department of the Export Promotion Council. The mandate of that department is to ensure that non-oil export businesses in Nigeria have access to training and capacity, and then finance, affordable finance and incentives to be able to facilitate exports in Nigeria. And of course, that department houses, just like the name goes, has incentive. Without incentive, I think export will not be palatable enough. And so we are working seriously to ensure that the incentive division like the EEG, the EDF, and then export tax relief that we have. And also we want to say that we manage the small and medium finance, that's the SMED, where we able to get information on exports for the small and medium enterprises. We also work on women in exports. Women in exports deals with all the women who have women-led businesses. We work on them to ensure that they export to the respective places. We also have youth in exports. Youth in export, where we, because of the radicalism in youth, we try to bring them together to ensure that everything, the effect is being cushioned so that they go into export. And of course, people with challenges, special needs, we also work with them to ensure that they also get involved. Of course, the recent one we just had was the trade mission that we had, UK trade mission that we had in Nigeria between 18th to 20th of this very month, where we had about 20 led women businesses in Nigeria that came here, and also bring in 11 importers from UK to be able to have an agreement to be able to take some of our products from here. So invariably, we found out that it's a very crucial area that we need to explore more and see how to make sure that export is all inclusive. Because of the time limit, let me just tell that so far. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you so much, Director, Export Development and Incentives. Okay, so we've come to the interactive section of this webinar series. We have a few participants in-house, but I will take some of the questions online first, and then we'll come in-house to find out if we have any more questions. I don't know if Mrs. Irene Oyarikwa is still online, because I have a few questions directed at her, and I would like to take those ones first, then I will take the one that concerns NEPC. If she's still online, can we please get a confirmation before I read out the questions? Okay, so she's still with us. Okay, so there's a question here saying, how much does it cost to establish a company at DAFS, that's the Dubai Airport Free Zone? How much does it cost to establish a company there? If there's a cost to it, please, can we know? Somebody else is asking, how can we source buyers in Dubai? And can we also get your contact information to ask them further questions? That's from Virginia Alozie, and Rukaya Akamis also is asking the same question. Can we get your contact? And how can we connect with buyers in Dubai? if you got those questions, could you please just quickly answer them before I come back to the questions that has to do with the NEPC? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question with regards to how much does it cost to set up a company in Dubai Airport Free Zone, I believe the Dubai Airport Free Zone team are still on the call, so I will allow them answer that question. That's one. I think the next question you mentioned, what does it take to source buyers from Dubai? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it depends. It's a case-by-case basis. It depends on the kind of buyers you're looking for. You can go online and check. Some of those information are available online. You can check online. You can also reach out to nigeria@dubaichamber.com. That's our email address for the person asking for our email address and for further questions, as well as also connecting to buyers.
Okay, thank you. I hope you were able to note down that contact the website. Okay, Mrs. Oriaruka, for the reason of emphasis, could you repeat that website one more time so that they have it written down? A little slower this time so that they have it down. Thank you.
Nigeria@dubaichamber.com.
Please take it one more time. We lost you there.
Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Nigeria@dubaichamber.com.
So we got it now, Nigeria@dubaichamber.com. So go to that website and the email address and get more information that you need as regards this. And then for the NEPC, I have quite enough. Somebody is asking a question around mentorship. This is Samuel Jesumeje. He says, how can I access grants, not financial grants, but mentorship grants, where I will be attached to flourishing export firm for a minimum of 6 months? This will equip me to be able to manage my own firm. And he mentioned the name of the firm. Then another person here, this is more of a suggestion. He says, we employ NEPC to work with federal government to reduce or compact all these numerous organizations that are needed to verify our products, as these processes and organizations consume our capital. And that is why export business is becoming more difficult to run, and hence reducing the income to the federal government in that area. Then he says, kindly permit, is there any financial organization or department of NEPC that renders financial assistance to run and sustain export business in Nigeria, as we have been experiencing some issues? Okay, so I think this is it. Any financial departments that can assist financially, and then he suggested that we work with other critical stakeholders to reduce the cost of documentation and processes. Then the question for mentorship. I think I'll give room for any of our directors to answer this. If there are more questions, I will take it and then we'll round off. Who do I give this microphone to? Okay, the director, Pianessa. Thank you, Mr. Lawal Shehudahat.
Let me start in no particular order. And I think he mentioned the issue of financing. Actually, we have a unit, a division in the Export Development Incentive Department that handle issues relating to SME financing. Well, basically that we do a lot of capacity building, but we also relate with other agencies, especially NEXIM, and other development partners. Like even the WIDE fund that we just talked about, it was an area where we helped. We worked with a development partner, the ITC and the WTO, to get funding for our exporters. So we do that, we give advisory services, and then we also relate with other partners that are able to help. So you can always get in touch with us once these programs are there. Like NEXIM is there, is clear, but other programs where they are like grants, once they come on and you are in touch with us, definitely you'll be one of the beneficiaries if you meet the requirements. And on the issue of mentorship, sorry, I didn't get the name of, in fact, I was jokingly talking to the ED that he said for 6 months. I'm like, this guy is serious. So, yeah, he wants to run a diploma. So,
his name is Samuel.
Samuel, okay. It's nice to hear that you are interested in our mentorship program. We do run it. We do on a regular basis. And I think what we would encourage you is to now be following us on our social media handles and our sites and our programs. Once the next batch is going to come on, we'll take note of you, particularly. I'm giving you that assurance that we'll take note of you, so that the next program we're going to do, we'll try and see how we can be able to accommodate you and be part of those that will undergo the mentorship program that is going to come up. Hopefully by next year, because you know it's coming to the end of the year, and those ones we're about to round up some of the ones that we're already running our cities now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Policy and Strategy. Okay, sir.
I want to add to what the Director of PNS said. On financial assistance, it's a record too that we've given grants to SMEs, under the EFP. We gave the COVID-19 grant, and we give Export Development Fund grant. So we also give such assistance, when funds, are available. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Akitunde Folorunsho, Director, Market Access Department. Okay, I have quite a number of questions flooding in. I would overlook the ones on finances, as I believe Mr. Dalhart has touched a bit on that, and Mr. Akitunde also lended his voice to that issue. So Teddy says, the last speaker, that's the Director, Solid Minerals Department, only mentioned one item that can be exported to Dubai. He wasn't talking about Dubai particularly, no. He said, is this the only solid minerals that can be exported to Dubai, or you mean can be exported outside of Nigeria? Then somebody else is asking, can we have a recorded version of this? I've said it over and over again. Please log on to at the NEPC on YouTube. All the webinar series from 1.0 to 7.0 are on that page. You can go over them to get all the information that you need. Another person says, this is Olumide Ogumokun. What measures can one take if a product that is certified okay at origin and destination is declined by the buyer, even when product is already at their ports? Okay, so let's answer this to them. We'll come in-house. Mr. Afolabi, they are asking for your contact, that they would like to speak to you if you can give that to them. Okay, so can we answer these two questions? Then I'll take a few on the floor. The question on gold, and then what can someone do if a product that has been certified okay at origin and at destination is now declined by the buyer? What step can that exporter take? Thank you. Mr. Idowu, please.
Okay, thank you. The emphasis on gold has to do with Dubai. And if you listen carefully while the presentation was ongoing, it was underlined that the level of trading activity with Dubai is 22%. And gold and precious stone accounted for 22%. That was why I was telling us that you want to do business to Dubai, look at that 22% comprising of gold, gemstone, aquamarine, ruby, and the like. That is just to answer that question, that precious stone trading with Dubai is attractive, and it accounted for 22% of trading with that country. But that does not mean that other solid mineral cannot be exported to different parts of the country, Canada, UK, and the right. But that's strictly outside the scope of today's webinar. But if you want other engagement in that area, you can contact us. If I can dwell on the question that if if a consignment was approved at origin and at destination but rejected by the buyer, I think what we need to check is what happened to the specification. There's a specification ab initio from the beginning. When you want to start a business, the best thing is to ask for specification with your buyer. What do you want me to supply? And that would flow into an agreement that you're going to sign before you commence the process. By the time you're able to dot the T and then cross the T and dot the I, agree from the beginning. There won't be issue of rejection along the line. So that's just my take on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samson Ido. Okay, I still have quite a number of questions coming in for the Dubai part of this presentation. You have the email address. Kindly please send your other questions to them. They are in a better position to give you answers to these questions. For want of time, we'll come in-house here. Our physical participants will be able to take 2 questions from here, and then we can move on to begin to conclude. Okay, so 2 questions. I have Binkaf and I have Madame in front. Can we have a microphone go to them? Please keep it short, simple, straight to the point, so that we can leave here in good time. Thank you. Please introduce yourself, your name, your company, and then ask your questions straight to the point. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen on the high table. Permit me to stand on the already existing protocol. My name is Songwulu Luasheyi. I'm the head of exports, NAFDAC, representing DG NAFDAC. Thank you for these engagements, ma'am. I look forward to further engagement like this. Yeah, 2 things I want to bring up. First and foremost, the issue of having a one-stop shop for exports. That is speaking to agencies that applies in the value chain of export, vis-a-vis NAFDAC, NAQS, and all the rest, so that when people want to export, either they're in Nigeria or they're in diaspora, they can actually have a one-stop shop point where they can assess all the information together and be able to get the right thing to do at the right time. FMITI was trying to come up with this at one point in time, but I don't know at what point that is now. And secondly, the issue of RAFs. NAFDAC is a repository desk for RAFs, and of course we still get the alert notification for this reject, which is not palatable to any one of us in Nigeria. So I want to ask, apart from the issue, other regions where we have reject alert coming in, how can we get this through NEPC so that we can actually do our due diligence as a regulatory agency? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Please let's take the second question and then I'll come back to the management.
Thank you so much, everybody. Good day, sir. Good day, ma. My name is Ade Adedeji, CEO Dado Services Limited, and I'm the coordinator for Rice Farmers Association, Ogun State. My question is going to the sesame seed support. In Southwest too, we do sesame seed, even though if it is not big like the northern side. We would like to get the information on the right path of to go on the sesame seed planting. Thank you.
I come back to this side of the table. Which of the directors is taking on these answers? Product development, Mr. Macpherson, sir.
Thank you, the rep of the NAFDAC DG. We also want to appreciate NAFDAC for always sending the notification on RAS to us every quarter. And we're waiting for the last one for this year. Yeah, we are actually still working based on the STDF project, 845 project that I mentioned earlier in my presentation. We are also working with ITC, the project management team in ITC, to assist in getting those markets like Japan, where we are having real issues where they have actually raised some alarm that we have to do something about our chemical residue for our agricultural products. So let's see how it goes. We're working through our contact with ITC. and see if we can get, definitely we will get, hopefully we will get those details from other market clients, all right? Then for the SESEM, yeah, I know SESEM does well in the whole of the country if we explore. Well, it's part of the intervention of the council, any of the value chains that we want to. So I think we will need to know you better, Madam, the last speaker. Thank you, so we know what we can suggest and see how to intervene. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other director that wants to add? Okay, well, good. Okay, so the questions are flooding in quite a lot, but we've run out of time. I would like to ask that for more information, kindly visit our website at www.nepc.gov.ng. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at official NEPC. For YouTube, it is at the NEPC, and for LinkedIn, it is Nigerian Export Promotion Council. For further inquiries and questions, for some of your questions that were not able to be answered on this platform, Ilori wrote to me, you noted quite a number of concerns. We hear you, we see you. Do not think that we ignored you. Your concerns are noted and we'll look into them. But for more inquiries and further engagements, please do send an email to us at nepcconnect@nepc.gov.ng. And you can also call this number to ask your questions and get direct information, 091-180-51213. I'll take you one more time. For the emails, please send them to nepcconnect@nepc.gov.ng. And for calls, please call 091-180-51213, and we'll be sure to guide you through and answer your questions. And so, as we begin to wrap up and conclude, join me and welcome for the closing remarks, the Director, Corporate Services Department, Mrs. Esther Ibora. Please, a round of applause. Thank you, ma'am.
Very much, the MC. On behalf of the EDCU and management of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, I want to sincerely thank everybody for being a part of this webinar series, 7.0 series. From the presentations, I am sure we have all gained valuable insights on how we can navigate the numerous opportunities and overcome the challenges we have that may exist in this vibrant and important hub in the UAE. It is our desire that we break through into the Dubai market, and we have been exposed to a lot of information today, free of charge. I am sure that most of the information we got today, we may not get in one book at a time. You have to consult a lot of publications to be able to get. And they just came to us free of charge, courtesy of the organizers, the NEPC Connect, that has continually brought us this series to us. And we have seen that whether it is in understanding the regulations concerning the market, or in finding the right partners in the Dubai market, or leveraging all the trade agreements that may exist there, or in the Dubai airport free zone that we have that we were exposed to today, that most of us don't even know about. I think we have learned a lot, and it is our desire that the conversation should keep coming so that we see how we can break through the global market and navigate through the markets, and in order to expose our exporters to this very important market in the Middle East. I want to sincerely thank the Permanent Secretary, who is always ready and available whenever we call. He has never said no to us for sending, and the able representative. Yes, he has never said no to any request or any time we call him in any piece, he answers. So thank you very much. Extend our regards to him. We really appreciate. And to our partners in the customs, they are always here. In fact, today the representative of the DG of the CG has been there since morning. In fact, when we walked into the hall, he was already seated. So, sir, we appreciate you, and we appreciate the CG. So, thank you very much to our participants and our exporters, both those that joined us in-house and online. We couldn't have held this webinar series without you. So, we really want to appreciate you people for being part of this program. And to our sister agencies, I am sure a lot of them, NAFDAC has spoken. I'm sure some other sister agencies of ours are here. So we want to say a very big thank you for coming to answer us and to be part of this program and for your invaluable contribution. You made a point that where you raised the one-stop shop, I am aware it's a challenge. The representative of the PAMSEC, please take it back to the ministry. To the PAMSEC and the ministry, because I am aware that such existed at the Abuja enterprise before. I don't know what happened. We had representative at a point at that one-stop shop. So I think it is something we can reconsider because it really helped our exporters a lot. No, at Abuja enterprise, we have another one at NIPC. Yes, I know what I'm saying. We have at the Abuja Enterprise under the ministry and the one at NIPC. Yes. So we want to really appreciate the participants. Without you, we won't be here. So you are the reason why we are all here. So we really appreciate you. And we hope that your presence here will help us and make an impact in our mantra of doubling our exports. I have not forgotten the resource persons. Very, very important, because the resource persons, our resource persons have really, really exposed us and made a lot of information available to us on how to navigate the opportunities and challenges in the Dubai market. We really appreciate you for joining us online. And to our dear participants, we want to clap for you for coming. Those who, especially those exporters that are here, we really appreciate you for coming. And we said that you continue to answer us. This is just the 7.0 series. As we look forward to the 8.0 series, whenever we call you, I am sure you will always be there to answer. Like the MC has said, all the presentation, all the proceedings and everything, go to our handles, go to our website, you will see them. Then for the people that made it happen, NEPC Connect, where are you? Can you stand up for? I think that as the series progresses, it gets better. I think as the series progresses, it gets better. Yes, today it gets better, and we hope it will continue to get better, because we have received a lot of testimonies of what people that joined the information they got through this webinar series that some of us, our staff, will feel that is it not coming together? It is not coming together. A lot of information is being shared here. And I believe that this our team that are connecting us to the world and connecting our exporters everywhere are doing marvelous work. So on behalf of the EDR management, we say thank you very much for your good works. Continue to keep it up. And as we leave, we hope to see all of us in the 8.0 series coming up shortly. Thank you and God bless. Oh, MC is always, because MC is in-house, we always forget. Amma, we appreciate you. She's on leave, ma, if you don't know. But each time we have a program and we tell her, she leaves, forgets about her leave, and she will come and deliver. So thank you very much. We appreciate you for your, and you will continue to, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, EDCEO, the management, thank you. We would like to round off today's session by closing off with a closing prayer, as we did not start off with one, but it has gone well. So we will recite the third stanza of our national anthem as we shut down Re-Energized Webinar 7.0. Right after this closing prayer, please do not be in a hurry to leave. We'll have a group photograph. And at the count of 3, we'll take the third stanza of the national anthem. For creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. Thank you. Please, the group photograph will happen right in front of the office building. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you. See you at 8.0 series.